YouTube, what's good? What's good? How being fat affects everybody around you and not just yourself. Welcome back to the Creed channel. So, I found this topic very interesting today as I was actually walking to work this morning. I post on Instagram and TikTok just some motivation as I'm walking from the gym or walking to work, just to give out there to the fellas and everything. And this morning I was talking about popping your shit, which I really do mean. Like when you make such big milestones, you got to learn to celebrate yourself. As a matter of fact, you have to learn to celebrate the small wins, because I'm a person who never feel like what is given is good enough, or what is asked for is good enough. I always feel like I got to go above and beyond. And I'm not ashamed to admit that that's been a double-edged sword in my life. When somebody asks me for this, hey, this is the standard, I go way above that shit, because I understand what it's like to have the expectations of wanting something, but then, you would expect people to go above and beyond for you because it's what you would do for them. And fellas, I got to tell you that on this journey, I had to come to the realization that you can't expect you out of other people, right? Because they are other people. They got their own feelings, they got their own morals, they got their own set of standards. And I think that was one of the most heartbreaking things about things I discovered on this journey, other than, hey, accountability, nobody's coming to save you, and you expecting you out of other people. That hurt me probably the most, because I would literally give somebody the shirt off my back. I toss you my keys and I take the bus. I used to be that type of guy. And whenever I grew to learn that, nah, you can't expect other people out of you, because um, you can't expect you out of other people, because like now you're setting yourself up to be hurt. It's almost like that law of attachment and shit, right? Whenever you put like so much effort and energy into something or someone other than you validating that for yourself, you setting yourself up for heartbreak. So I give you an example. For me, I like to think of myself as a great gift giver. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really spare no expenses. Like, I often used to get in trouble for telling my kids, like, hey, daddy's away, but guess why does he work so hard? Well, why? So I can buy you whatever you want. It got to a point to where, my little girl was saying that, like, but baby, why does daddy work? To buy me whatever I want. And it's true, because, when you got daughters, you got kids, you want to give them everything instead of teaching them everything, right? So in hindsight, if Sean can rewind, it would be, let me teach you everything I didn't know versus give you the material shit I never got. But it's never too late, you can always still give them the best of both worlds. And fellas, it's never too late to get it right. Some people may put timelines on your progression. Some people may put timelines on you, but God's timing is the most important timing. And the timing that you realize that, hey, this change need to be had, regardless of the canon life event, you have to make that change. But whenever you have to deal internally, right, you must, and this is one of the things that we struggle with. Like, I even myself struggle with it. I had to learn to celebrate, because I didn't feel like I did shit. I really truly didn't. Even when, I was 315, I was like, okay, I can get down. And it's easy to drop weight. It's easy to drop fat when you that big, because you're not even supposed to be that big. So if you eating 5,000 calories of bullshit a day, if you just stop eating cookies and cut back 500 calories, you're going to lose 4 pounds that week, because you're not even supposed to be eating that much any fucking way. So I looked at it as, oh, whoop-de-doo, I lost a little bit of something because, hey, I did a little bit of this. And that's why my thinking was the way it was. So I didn't celebrate my wins, really. I didn't celebrate any kind of win until I absolutely saw what was going on. And that's one of the situations where you got to trust the process. You absolutely have to trust the process. And with you not being able to see the changes, but you know that they're happening, don't that sound familiar? Oh, I'm gonna pray for something, right? I can't see it happening. I can't see God working it behind closed doors, but I know it's happening. That delayed gratification and that trust in the process, it all goes hand to hand. That's why I tell people, the journey to get your mind, to get your body right, it turns into a spiritual journey, because everything else falls in line. So that's what I took from it, because it's easy to go to the gym for 2 weeks and not see no progress. You won't see it. But I think I saw something that said in 4 weeks, you'll feel it, right? In 8 weeks, other people will see it. In 12 weeks, you'll see it. And then from there, it becomes a habit. I don't like that saying because it's still implying a bit of validation from others. You know what I mean? And I could be taking it wrong, but the way my mindset and my grind set work, I don't want that validation from other people. I made a huge mistake a couple months ago. You know, I kind of sought that validation, and when I got it, I was like, it don't even feel the same because it felt better when it came from me. It felt better when I was able to shower without putting a towel over the door just to hide the fact that I'm naked. You know what I mean? Like it's see-through. You know, my validation came from me putting on a very, very fitted suit at my grand session, and I didn't have to suck anything in. If anything, I had more room. And I was like, damn, well, I bought this like 2 weeks ago. And then I still got more room because when I first put it on, it's a bit snug like I like to feel. I celebrated that shit because I was like, damn, you know, this shit feel good. That validation for myself felt better than any of my frat brothers just saying, oh, damn, man, you look different. My grandmaster, Abdullah O. Mustafa, my guy, love him to death. Kevin Hubbard, you know, love him to death. Ian Wingfield, love him to death. It was like, damn, bro, I almost walked past you. I didn't know who you was. Like, that gave me a good laugh and a good feeling, but nothing felt better than the internal validation that I got from being able to walk around my room with no shirt on and not be afraid to walk by the mirror. You know, that stuff means more than you think when you come from 300 plus pounds down to, you know, at that time I was like, because I left Germany at 221 pounds. But then due to flying and me really watching what I eat and not like really buckling, I ended up getting to Alaska on like the second day of a grand session, and I was like 215. But I was still going to the gym in the mornings. I had to restrict my food a little bit because all they had was a bunch of goofy shit. And that's another win that I never would have celebrated. But I did because it's like, man, I got fried chicken around me. I got burgers. I got all type of shit. But I'm the only motherfucker there ordering 7, 8, 9 grilled chicken breasts. Yes, I did that. I would see all the bros. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, you know, a lot of them was cooked, you know, physically. But, you know, people are on different time, on their own time when it comes to their own physical journey. Some people just don't give a fuck and they're happy where they at. And I never body shame anybody. If that's what you want, if that's what you cool with, do you, my friend. But for those of us, you know, who want to make that change, who want to see the better and go for the best version of ourselves, this is how I think. This is what we do. You know, I am rare. You know, it just took me time to see it. You know, I didn't understand the importance of having a nice physique just because I had a bunch of money, right? But anyway, going back to Alaska, I'm the only one eating like a mountain of chicken breast. And I mean, I'm not even embarrassed to do it because I know deep down, this is what I told myself what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do it. So, you know, the brothers eating burgers, fries. And don't get me wrong, I love fries. But I asked like, hey, do y'all got an air fryer back there? One of the brothers like, what the hell? I was like, yeah, do y'all got an air fryer? And it's like, nah, we put everything in the grease. I said, well, I don't want your fucking potatoes. You just give me some grilled chicken. Give me 9 pieces of grilled chicken. And some of the bros laughed at me like, man, what the hell wrong with this dude? What the hell? But then my boy, big bro Kevin, he was like, Sean used to be real, real big. So it's a reason why he eating like that. The shit fucking working. You know, that's how he talk. And it's like, even though we all josh with each other and we all joke with each other, he still held me down. And we had another brother, you know, we would joke with him like, dang, man, you on your 8th glass of orange juice. And then one of the other brothers like, man, it's just orange juice. It's healthy. I said, nigga, what? I like, what? Who said orange juice was healthy in that amount? It's like, man, I go get a big old thing of orange juice and I damn near drink the whole thing every morning. I'm like, bruh, read the nutrition label. Look how many calories per serving that is. Look how much sugar is in there. Oh, that's natural sugar. Nah, read the ingredients. If you got a long list of ingredients on your nutrition bar, for one, I'm not eating or drinking that shit. If it's not minimal or just 1 or 2 ingredients, I'm not fucking with it. So it's like, man, you just crazy. Like, nah, bro, for real, look. That thing said 396 calories, 27 grams of sugar per serving, and 1 bottle had 4 servings. I'm like, bro, everything I just told you, multiply that shit times 4. That's how many calories you just intook. That's how many grams of sugar. Like, damn, I didn't even know. Like, bro, it's not, oh, it's healthy. Just because you eating healthy shit, that don't necessarily mean you can eat as much as you want. Guys, you have to remain in a calorie deficit. Yeah, you still need to hit your macros by eating certain things in a certain portion. That's how you work on your discipline. That's how you get the physique that you want. Not, oh, I just ate a bunch of healthy food. Because believe it or not, that was my issue. Man, what the hell? I put on 3 pounds this week. All I ate was chicken breast, broccoli, and sweet potatoes. Yeah, but I had 400. Instead of having 2 chicken breasts, I had 6 chicken breasts. Instead of having 200 grams of broccoli, I had 300 grams of broccoli, which wasn't bad. But instead of having 100 grams of the sweet potato with the carbs, I had like 800. And then not only that, I sprayed them down with fucking olive oil and dumped them in the pan. That was the wrong answer. But in my head, oh, I'm eating healthy. What the fuck? Guys, that's why I got a coach. So I can be educated on these things. Yeah, Sean, you did eat it right, but you didn't eat it right. What you mean I didn't eat it right? You sound like a girl that he's like, nah, not that food. It's like, you didn't eat it correctly. You ate what you were supposed to eat, but your portions are too big for what you're trying to do. These are the calories you need to be at, and these are the macros you need to be intaking. And it hit me. Bam! I was like, fuck. Now I understand. And if I got questions, I just simply ask. And there's still things I'm learning about this journey that I ask my coach, like, man, you know, what's this? Like, why is this happening when I'm doing this? You know, I was stuck at 209, 210 for 3 weeks. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm doing the inputs. I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to do. Sean, how's your sleep? I'm getting about 5 hours. We're gonna slow that back. We're gonna pull that back. You need 8. Try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. What are you doing throughout the day? Oh, I work out. I go do this. I go work out again. Whoa. You doing what? I was like, yeah, I get stressed out. I got some life shit going on. I got some work shit. You know, I want to live. Nah, bro. Stop. Like, are you sure? Yep. Trust me. Stop. So I stopped the 2-a-days and I just worked out, went to war in the morning, did my cardio with just the walking, and that's it. And I started getting my sleep. That was 3 weeks ago at like 210. Now I look up 202 in like a week. I was like, what the hell? But it wasn't the body getting rid of anything like crazy. I didn't send my body into shock. What happened was my body was holding on to the water. It was holding on to stress. It was my body. I was basically telling my body, hey, we're going to keep working your ass. We're going to keep working your ass. But when you get to the point I'm at, less is more. Your body got to recover. That's why sleep is fucking underrated when you're trying to recomposition your body. Sleep, resting, go to war in the morning or go to war when you go to the gym. But after that, you really need to let your body recover. And it's the patience game. It's that delayed gratification. And I'm very, very happy that I went through this process and continuing to still go through it because I'm still learning new things about myself. I'm learning that maybe I don't have to be so quick to respond to that email. Maybe I don't have to be so quick to respond to what you said to me. Maybe I can just delay this response a little bit just to give me more time to think. And all situations ain't gonna call for that. But it definitely gave me the foundation to start thinking a lot more. And instead of quick reactions, I'm thinking of tailored responses. And that all came from this journey of learning everything. But me being super fat, how that affected the people around me, man, that's actually a deep topic for me because I know it had to affect my family in a negative way because when my son say, Dad, I'm proud of you. When my oldest daughter said, Dad, I'm proud of you. That it hit a nerve. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I teared up because I'm like, dang, you know, for them to say that, I'm thinking like, hey, you know, they just kids. They don't care how their parents look. But the kids see it. The kids see that, damn, you know, my dad take himself seriously now. He used to be a mountain of fat, always angry, throwing money at shit and just being arrogant. Now, you know, he a bit different. He a lot more in shape. He move a little calmer. He not yelling, screaming like, who is this guy? So it affects people around you more than you think. You don't realize that you emotionally charged a lot more because your estrogen levels are high. And I'm gonna be completely vulnerable with you. Shit, I didn't even realize how being that big kind of affected my social life too. You know what I mean? It was a thing to where, hey, I still fit in because I owned the room. But I only owned the room because of my arrogance, my loudness, and me throwing around money. That was it. I don't have to do that shit no more. When I walk into a room, I just walk into a room. I ain't got to say nothing. I'll make eye contact and I'm going to stare. And I'm going to let you break eye contact first. And it's not an egotistical thing. That's what I'm going to do because that's what I'm going to do. That's what I said I'm going to do thing, right? And my aura has caught up to my mind. My mind is still catching up to my body because I'm still not used to certain things. You know, I'm not used to random people wanting to just to stop, say hey, and talk to me. And I'm in a whole nother country, and it's been happening a lot more. You know what I mean? Even people in the gym that I've been in there with for the last 9 months, ever since they saw me get small and just stay in there, they come up there, fist bump me, don't speak a lick of English, and don't have good hygiene, especially in the mornings. But it's still like, all right, cool. You being big is probably hurting your career in ways you don't think. It's hurting your relationship in ways you don't think, because it's the small shit that you missing, bro. You're not thinking that instead of when your old lady yelling and screaming, because you have to understand your woman gonna be emotional as fuck. That's they're wired to be that way. We're not. But we become that way when we are overweight, when we do have an excessive amount of body fat, when we are emotionally charged. So instead of, going back and forth with your woman, you're supposed to be guiding that shit. I now understand that art of stoicism. It's like I understand that I can't match. You can't match a woman's energy when it comes to that shit. You got to be cool, and it's not easy. It's a work in progress because, hey, I want to say something too. But when it comes to being that level of honesty and realness, you want to get that apart. You want to get that across pretty fast, and you want to make sure it lands. But even I'm still a victim of like, damn, I don't agree with that. This. But in reality, I should just be like, all right, cool. But I'm still gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like, it takes time to get there because your mind still has to catch up with this new aura. Your mind still have to catch up with these new habits, and it takes time. Anybody that just works on the outside and not the inner, and that misalignment is gonna happen. Like, that's why I went like this instead of like this. That misalignment is gonna happen, and you still gonna be fucked off. It's not easy saying, hey, you know what? No, I don't want to do that this weekend, or hey, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's not. It wasn't easy for me back in the day, but it's gotten way easier for me now because I'm putting myself first. If I simply don't want to do something, I'm not gonna fucking do it. And I have the right to change my mind, just like they got the right to change theirs. And I have to respect that. You have to learn to really know that you can't control shit. What is it? The desire creates a lot of struggle within you because of shit that you can't control. And it's like you desire these things and it's creating a struggle for you internally. And it leads to suffering. And I didn't understand that. I was like, dang, that sounds cool to say. But I get it now. The only thing I desire is just to become a better person at this point. Everything else will align. I want to become a better person. I want to have my alignment with God, my connection to God, way tighter than what it used to be. And I hate it. I used to be one of those guys that I would only call on God when I was in trouble or I needed some shit, right? And then he would bless me. And then I'm like, God, if you give me this, I promise I ain't gonna do nothing else stupid again. I'm gonna be on it. Then as soon as he give it to you, I'm back out there. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna even bless you no more. You know what I mean? Like, you have to really sink into this new identity that's being created. And it comes out of nowhere because you don't plan for it. You just going there, man, I'm about to get right. I'm about to get these. I'm about to get this 6-pack. I'm about to do this. Man, it becomes so much deeper. And because it affects you in a positive way, it affects others around you at first in a negative way. And then it become a positive because it'll be people that's going to, talk shit because they jealous. They don't want to get, man, you have no idea how many people I wake up early in the morning, go to the gym, be walking home, and they walking to work. Oh, man, I've been seeing you doing it every day. I know you've been putting in work. How do you do it? Oh, I just wake up and put one foot in front of the other. That's it. The heaviest weight in the gym is the front door handle. Once you can get that shit up and going, you fine. You just got to go in there and put in the work. And the way it's affecting people around me is simply not that when you in shape and you a leader, you're looked at more as a leader now. Because now they see that you can control things. You can control yourself because I control what I eat. Even when people want to bring me shit, man, try this, try that. Nah, I can't. Oh, man, live a little. I lived a lot. That's why I got so big. And then for people at my job, like, man, you damn near less than half the size you were when you got here. Like, yeah, man, it just took some discipline and hard work. That's it. And then I'm noticing that the people around me now, they're in a better mood. They have more confidence in my ability. And even they're getting inspired to do certain things. A lot of people ain't eating that junk shit no more. Because I call it I call it goofy shit. And they're like, oh, Sean, I say, yeah, I'm about to go eat that goofy shit. But every day they see me with my salmon, my broccoli, my potatoes or sweet potatoes, my chicken, my broccoli, and my sweet potatoes. You know, they see me with that and put my water in the freezer, and I just go about my day. So, fellas, I need y'all to think about that. When you're bigger, it affects people around you in a negative way, or it can affect them in a positive way. But I don't see too many good things coming of a big guy, you know, around his family, unless he has it together, unless, you know, the money is just flowing and, you know, he can continue to buy people off. But at that point, the people you buying off, do you really want them around you? Are they really meant for you? I mean, that's at least what I think. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you from lived experience. You know, I had my lady tell me, you know, hey man, Sean, you putting on a little bit too much. Baby, cut back a little bit. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm about to be on it. Man, I do like a week, don't see no results, and I'm back to the same old bullshit. And that's when your word starts to diminish, because you say you're gonna do something and then you don't do it. And then that leads to other chain of effects. Oh, you ain't gonna do it. Now you take me for granted. Now you taking yourself for granted. Knowing that life is precious, it can be taken like that. I'm living proof that pulmonary embolism could have took me out. But yet I still was fucking off and not being on my shit. Right? So, fellas, think about not just yourself. Think about putting yourself first, but don't just think about yourself. Think about the impact that you're having on the people around you. Think about how angry you are sometimes. Think about how emotionally charged you are sometimes. And then go get a DEXA scan and be like, fuck, I'm 29, 30% body fat. Yeah, bro, you a woman now. That's why you so emotionally charged. That's why you can't think logically and clear. You don't have control. But then once you take control, you take control. You know what I mean? It's like I used to be the whole, man, I'm just going to be, man, it's cool. Just let it pass. It's going to be whatever. I don't let shit pass no more. Just because I'm laid back now, don't mean I still won't lean forward on your ass. That's the mentality that you got to have. No, don't tolerate disrespect. Don't tolerate nothing from man, woman, or child. Don't do it. That's why often I give my respect first, because I'm going to force you to return it. And if I give you your respect first and you still don't return it, then we have another conversation. And it's going to be in a calm voice, and it's going to be very direct. I'm going to look you in your eye and say, bro, if you ever disrespect me again, this conversation ain't going to be the way you want to go. Because you will learn to stand on something when you get your physique right and your confidence is through the roof and you ain't taking no shit and you done read No More Mr. Nice Guy. You done read The Way of the Superior Man. You done read Ego is the Enemy. You done read Mastery. You done read The Art of Seduction. You done read The Art of Thinking Clearly. You done read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Yeah, you tend to change your mindset and become a bad motherfucker. Guess how I know? You're looking at them. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pop my shit because, yeah, I know I look damn good now. But just wait till my cut is over in about 11 weeks. It's gonna be hell. And I'm going to be hell. I'm telling y'all to get ready because it's going to happen. And those of y'all who apply with me and walk with me, y'all going to be hell too. Stop playing with your life. Stop playing with yourself. Get your shit together. You can do this. And like I said, I'm not selling you shit. I'm just going to give you the game. Just call me, text me, book the Calendly. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm getting a lot of people reaching out, and they taking their shit serious. What's taking you so long? Hey, man, don't play these fucking away games. Let's get this together, and let's get it together right. It's too much life to live to be fat. And I ain't want to be fat no more. So you shouldn't want to be fat no more neither. Don't play them fucking away games.